We were just a little late. My father had the tickets, but he couldn't get any coal. When I tried to pick up some pieces that had fallen on the ground, he stopped me. He said we were not there to beg. He looked at the others bending down for coal and mocked them for losing their dignity.
This baby's sick and he needs a hot drink. Now, if you're too grand to pick coal off the road, I'm not.
But dignity meant nothing when you had to survive. We lived on welfare, and pride was worthless. So my mother took me and my brother to pick up the scattered coal by the road. They worked all night, but my brother's fever didn't go down. The next day they had to take him to the hospital. I stayed at my aunt's place for a few days, and finally had enough to eat with my cousins. But my youngest brother didn't make it. When I saw the box holding his body being buried in the dirt, I couldn't understand why we were leaving him there. That day my father went to get the welfare money. He said he would bring back some bread and eggs, but the door stayed quiet all night. The next day my mother went to the church and fought for leftover food with people from the slums. She knew that if my father had money, he would drink. She just didn't expect him to spend every penny on alcohol. A few days later, another brother stopped breathing. Without my aunt's help, we couldn't even afford a funeral. In that tiny rented room, my mother lost 2 sons in a row. She felt she would go insane if we stayed there any longer. So she went to a charity and asked for some furniture. The staff heard my father was jobless and gave her a slip of paper telling her to go to the second-hand market.
Excuse me, sir, but will the beds be second-hand?
Of course they would. Beggars can't be choosers, Mrs. McCourt.
The old furniture people threw away was broken, but it still helped us make a home. My father had been a soldier once. The war left him stranded in New York, and his service record was lost, so he couldn't get any benefits. When life there became unbearable, we moved to my mother's hometown in Ireland. But with his foreign accent, finding a job was nearly impossible. He wandered around every day. Without the room my mother fought to get, we would have been on the street. Now we live on welfare again. Maybe when I grow up, this hard life will finally be over.